I'm Fred Wellman, host of On Democracy with FP Wellman, right here on the On Democracy channel and the FP Wellman Substack. And this video is the first of a series called What's Really Going On? And my intent with these new videos is to kind of pull the news, talk about what's really going on behind a news story, and dive deeper for you who follow me and read my Substack. Today, we've got a couple interesting stories. Thanks to JD Vance and Alina Habba, we're finding out what the Trump administration really does think of those who serve, be it our allies who served in combat with us or our own veterans. We'll start with JD Vance, who started the day off talking to Sean Hannity about a possible Ukrainian deal for their mineral wealth, for peacekeeping forces and others. It's been rumored in the news that the UK and France suggest the possibility of providing peacekeeping troops to Ukraine. And here's J.D. Vance's take on things.
And this is an important part of it. The president knows that, look, if you want real security guarantees, if you want to actually ensure that Vladimir Putin does not invade Ukraine again, the very best security guarantee is to give Americans economic upside in the future of Ukraine. That is a way better security guarantee than 20,000 troops from some random country that hasn't fought a war in 30 or 40 years. The security guarantee and also the economic guarantee for Ukraine is to rebuild the country and ensure that America has a long-term interest. You're not going to do that if you come to the Oval Office, insult the president, and refuse to follow his plan for peace.
So a few thousand peacekeeping troops from a random country that hasn't fought a war in 20 or 30 years. Let's think about that, 30 or 40 years. Let's think about what he's saying. And I decided to dive in this a little bit. First, one nugget is we're talking about the UK. Would you believe that the United States has actually not gone to war since World War II without the UK by our side, with the only exception being Somalia in 1993? Other than that, every time we've gone to war, our partners in the UK have been there. Here's our partners in the UK and other partners from Afghanistan. Now look at these numbers. You'll see at the bottom right there, 3,621 troops died during Afghanistan as of this date. 2,400 of those were American. The rest were our allies. Number two, the United Kingdom with 457 of their troops. Number three, Canada, the people we started a trade war with today. Number four, France. Yes, everybody likes to mock the French for not participating in war. But guess what? France did come to Afghanistan to support us after we were attacked by Osama bin Laden and fought by our side. It goes on. Germany, Italy, Poland, all the way to the bottom there. There's some of the smaller countries. Latvia has lost troops. Albania, Croatia, Lithuania lost a soldier. Montenegro, which is a tiny country, lost a soldier. And when you look at the numbers as compared to the deaths per million of their population, that's impact on their countries much more than ours, sadly, per population. That's the truth. But that's not all. They also served with us in Iraq. This was at February 20, 2009, slightly dated, but you can see the numbers. Once again, 179 UK deaths in Iraq as part of multinational force Iraq. Goes on. Australia lost 2 soldiers. El Salvador, 5. Fiji lost a soldier. Latvia, Kazakhstan. These the tiny little countries that J.D. Vance doesn't respect. Oh, wait a minute. There's one more country that was involved in our wars overseas that when we were attacked came to our side. You're never going to believe. You're going to recognize these people, I think. Yeah, that's Ukraine. Those are Ukrainian troops in Afghanistan supporting our international operations there in Afghanistan. The country is being attacked by Russia, and Trump and Vance have all but abandoned as of today with the announcement they've suspended weapons sales to Ukraine because Zelensky wasn't thankful enough. And those are the allies that J.D. Vance, a former Marine, was smearing during his conversation with Sean Hannity, people who sacrificed by our side. My own roommate in Iraq in 2005 is now just retired as an Australian general. So let me tell you something about those tiny little countries that haven't fought wars. I'd love to know who they are because they were there. Those tiny little countries he's smearing were there for us. But look, the day was young. It's still young when we write this video. We still have to look forward to the State of the Union speech tonight, which I'm sure won't have any smears against us in that. But here's Alina Habba. You know, she's a special advisor to the president. She was on the White House lawn today and said this when asked about helping veterans. An estimated 6,000 veterans have been fired in the purges from Elon Musk's Doge. This is what she had to say when asked about veterans' jobs.
President starting to think about maybe some of those veterans who worked for the federal government and maybe what the administration can do to at least help salvage their lives?
Well, as you know, we care about veterans tremendously. I mean, that's something the president has always cared about. Anybody in blue, anybody that serves this country. But at the same time, we have taxpayer dollars. We have a fiscal responsibility to use taxpayer dollars to pay people that actually work. That doesn't mean that we forget our veterans by any means. We are going to care for them in the right way, but perhaps they're not fit to have a job at this moment or not willing to come to work. And we can't, I wouldn't take money from you and pay somebody and say, sorry, they're not going to come to work. It's just not acceptable.
You heard that, right? She's implying that veterans were lazy or not coming to work. She's implying that they weren't fit to hold a job. I'm dying to hear more about that. But, we've been saying this is going to come. If you read my writing, if you see my social media posts, we've been saying for a while that I'm positive there's going to come a moment where the only way they'll be able to fire veterans and get rid of our benefits and change them is by painting us as leeches on society at some point. And there's your first shot. That's behind the news, because the only way they'll be able to get rid of our benefits, be it concurrent receipt for our military retirement, be it the style of benefits, 100% disability, is changing those. And the way they're going to do that, by history shows us, they're going to smear us first. And there's what Alina Habba thinks. She thinks those veterans were lazy, didn't deserve jobs. There you have it. That's how they think of us right there. That's what this administration thinks of veterans. That's what this administration thinks of our allies who sacrificed by our side in combat. I'm Fred Wellman. As I mentioned, join us for more of these what's really going on videos as we go forward. We'll be posting on our Substack and our YouTube channel. Join us every Sunday right here on the On Democracy YouTube channel for On Democracy Sunday with incredible guests, newsmakers, elected officials, and more. And then every Friday night, On Democracy with FP Wellman appears on the Midas Touch Network, exclusive to the Midas Touch Network. A lot of content. I hope you join us. See you.